like perfect wedding weather, really. And wedding season is still in full bloom. And did you know the average cost of a wedding in Chicago is $60,000? When I heard that, my mouth was left wide open. That is a down payment on a house to buy a new car. And it doesn't have to be that expensive. Laura Panozzo is here to the rescue. She's a wedding planner. She joins us now also with Olivia Dawkins. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Let's talk about this. I'll start with you, Laura. What can people cut back on to prevent that cost from being so great?
So there's a number of areas that you can always choose to spend or save. Really, it's around those value-driven decisions. So in my opinion, some of the areas that you can really cut back on would be decor and attire, and really choosing those items that are most important to you or going to have the most lasting memories. So photography, your venue, and really being very careful about how you assess your guest count, and that can be higher or lower really based on what you want the day to be like.
So I know you helped Olivia, and your wedding ended up being what, $12,000?
Approximately, yes.
How the heck did you pull that off, and what did you get rid of, and what did you keep?
The thing that was really most important to us was having a really intimate, small feel. So we had 26 guests, and we also prioritized our photographer and our venue, and we cut back some costs on some of the decor. And one example of where Laura helped us was when I went to do my beauty trial, I just found that it really wasn't the right value for me, and so I cut back on that cost as well.
Now, we are living in a world now where you go on TikTok, people are showing you all kinds of things to do for your wedding, a lot of DIY, do it yourself. Are there anything, any items that you would say that people can actually pull off themselves and it looks still wedding quality?
So DIY elements are one of those things where it is so dependent on the couple, their skill level, what they think that they can accomplish in a time. What I always say is, like, you are either going to pay for that item with your time or you're going to pay for it with your dollars. And so really elaborate elements like string lighting or things like that, do you want to become an expert in hanging string lights? I mean, maybe, but if not, maybe focusing things on like the centerpieces or any printed materials that you can really spend your time and make it look the way that you want.
So is it possible to have, I don't know, 100 guests and still be able to have the wedding of your, maybe not completely your dreams, but your vision, and do it for under $60,000? I mean, that seems like a lot of money to me.
Absolutely. Those things are very related, guest count and budget, though they are not directly correlated, right? So I mean, there is an increased cost per guest that you include. There's no two ways around that. But if you're being really thoughtful about how you're spending the rest of your dollars and making those value-driven decisions along the way, it can ebb and flow based on all of those choices.
What would you say is the #1 thing that people have at their wedding that costs the most that you're seeing right now?
Yeah, so venue and food, right? When you find those two items and sort of all the basics that go along with that, so the dinner service, the tables, physically accomplishing the reception is going to be about 50% of your budget as a good milestone to shoot for.
Olivia, when you look back over your wedding, do you feel like it was the wedding that, because when you're a little girl, you have all these visions of what you want your wedding to be. When you look back, do you feel like it meets those marks for you?
It was absolutely the wedding of my dreams. I think we really got to spend so much time with our friends and family on that day, and that's really all I could have asked for.
Yeah, it sounds like an amazing time, and you didn't break the bank doing it, which is very important, because a lot of times you see people, they're spending all this money and they don't have any money for themselves. They can't even go on a honeymoon. So, I mean, what you're saying definitely is spot on. To learn more about Laura, you can visit her website. That's www.marryment.com. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.